नमस्कार, गुड मॉर्निंग। आज का टॉपिक है सीओपीडी। टीओपीडी यानी क्रोनिक ऑब्स्ट्रक्टिव पल्मोनरी डिजीज। ये फेफड़े की बीमारी है जिसे साइलेंट डिजीज भी कहा जाता है। देश भर के मेडिकल एक्सपर्ट्स और तंदुरुस्ती से जुड़े विशेषज्ञ हमें सीओपीडी के बारे में विस्तार से बताएंगे, बचाव भी और उपचार भी।
In the first session, we have Meher Munjal, a certified yoga teacher at the Shivananda Yoga Peetham and has been practicing yoga for 10 years now.
So, namaste everybody, and thank you all for joining for another yoga session with me. So, pranayama, we are going to do two breaths today, two series. So, one is called the Anulom Vilom. Anulom Vilom means the alternate nostril breathing. ये योगा का बहुत famous breath प्राणायामा सीरीज में से एक है. It balances out your frontal lobes of the brain, that is right side and left side of the brain. And then it cleans the nasal passages. Sometimes, especially in the morning when we wake up. Okay. So, right hand, you will first hold your first two fingers, right thumb to right nostril. ठीक है. तो आप यहाँ से inhale करोगे, फिर with these two fingers आप block करोगे. You'll hold the breath. और फिर राइट साइड से एक्सेल करोगे. ओके, तो इनहेल ब्लॉक एक्सेल, इनहेल ब्लॉक एक्सेल. सो लेट्स गो, लेट्स स्टार्ट द प्रैक्टिस. सो क्लोज योर आईज, इनहेल थ्रू लेफ्ट, ब्लॉक, होल्ड, exhale through right slowly. So slowly you will inhale, slowly exhale. Relax your hand. Take a deep breath. Inhale and exhale. And slowly palms together. Again, rub the palms. To your eyes, slowly open the eyes into your palms and face rest of the body. After this, now we are going to proceed to the fire breath known as very, very famous in the yoga, that is Kapalbhati. Why is it so popular? The reason is that it is instant for, of course, clearing the lungs and digestive system, liver and all of that situated in this area, but also good for weight loss. So let us start the Kapalbhati. How we do this? Again, sitting with your back straight, the chin mudra like this, thumb and index finger. So inhale through the nose, slowly, slowly exhale through the nose. So when you're exhaling slowly, slowly through the nose, आपका stomach खुद ब खुद move होएगा. You're going to feel that movement in. So let's do it. Inhale, close the eyes. Feel the stomach, start exhaling slowly through the nose.
We now enter into the second session. A very important session we have is on burden of obstructive lung diseases, prevention and cure, and respiratory illness in children, causes, prevention and management. The theme of the World COPD Day 2021 is Health, Lungs, Never More Important. So let's start with the basics. What is COPD and what are the symptoms? Is it fatal?
COPD, of course, as you've already described the statistics, is very, very common disease, especially in our country. More burden is borne by the low income, the middle income countries, and that's what we are facing today. COPD is chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. So as the name itself suggests, chronic means it's a long term. Obstructive means there's an obstruction to the airflow. There's not enough airflow going into the lungs. And lung disease, of course, and pulmonary means lung disease. So it's an obstructive lung disease. By definition, it is supposed to be a treatable and preventable cause of chronic airflow obstruction characterized by symptoms like cough, phlegm, and breathlessness, and this usually occurs due to the damage to the airways, also the air sacs of the lungs, which are called the alveoli, following exposure to certain noxious stimuli. These noxious stimuli could be in the form of gases or particles, which may be emitted from the smoke, most commonly the cigarette smoke or the tobacco smoke, which may be in the form of BDs, cigarettes, pipes, hookahs, or even shishas for that matter. It may be due to exposure to, so about, I would say 35% is due to cigarette smoking and tobacco smoking. 65% of the cases are non-smokers who develop COPD.
कोई बच्चा कोविड से रिकवर हुआ है तो क्या उनके फेफड़ों पर लंबे समय तक प्रभाव रहेगा?
देखिए, बच्चे जो होते हैं ना, इन पे कोविड का प्रभाव थोड़ा कम होता है। उसके बहुत सारी वजह है मेडिकली। तो क्या होता है कि अगर बच्चे को नॉर्मली जो कोविड इन्फेक्शन होता है वो ज्यादातर पेट को अफेक्ट करता है, तो हमको पेट के सिम्टम्स ज्यादा मिलते हैं, चेस्ट के सिम्टम्स कम मिलते हैं। तो ज्यादातर बच्चों को अगर कोविड इन्फेक्शन हुआ भी है तो क्रॉनिक लंग इन्फेक्शन ऐसा जैसा कुछ नहीं देखने को मिलता है। हाँ, पेट के इन्फेक्शंस होते हैं, और जो बच्चों में सबसे ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम देखी गई है मल्टी सिस्टम इन्फ्लेमेटरी इन्फेक्शंस डिजीजेस की, जो कि 4 से 6 हफ्ते के बाद नजर आती है। एज सच कोई लॉन्ग टर्म लंग इन्फेक्शन बच्चों में कोविड के बाद नहीं देखा गया।
Welcome back to session 3. We have the session 3 is on COPD and comorbidities. How does COPD affect sleep patterns and what are the solutions?
The sleep can affect COPD and the COPD can affect the sleep. It's a bidirectional relationship, and we know that sleep is a vulnerable area, and our breathing becomes significantly shallow when we go to sleep, and particularly when we are in a deeper sleep or when we are in our dream sleep. At that time, because of the significant degree of muscular relaxation, our breathing becomes very low in comparison to what we breathe when we are awake. Now, this fall in our breathing is not very significant in people who are normal, who do not have any chronic respiratory disease. But patients with COPD, asthma, neuromuscular disorder, or any chronic respiratory disease which is of moderate to severe degree. In these cases, because of the disease, our breathing is compromised, and when we go to sleep, our breathing is further compromised. It can actually result into what we called as respiratory failure. So patients with chronic respiratory disease, when they develop respiratory failure, the first time they develop respiratory failure is in sleep. So that's why it is very important to detect it, and by doing proper sleep studies or by other methods, and then treating these patients during sleep by providing support to their breathing, we may be able to change the natural course of the disease. So that's one way the sleep affects COPD, but that is the patient has to have a moderate to severe disease.
दिल्ली एनसीआर में पोल्यूशन की जो स्थिति है वो आप देख रहे हैं, और सबसे ज्यादा लोगों को सांस की बीमारी का खतरा रहता है, और सांस की बीमारी के लोग ज्यादा परेशान भी रहते हैं। तो इस पोल्यूशन का सीओपीडी या सांस की दूसरी बीमारियों के संदर्भ में लोगों पे क्या प्रभाव पड़ेगा?
सीओपीडी जो है वो बीमारी है जो लंबे दौरान में होती है, वो छोटे दौरान में नहीं होती है। एक्सपोजर लंबे दौरान का हो, एक्सपोजर उसकी वजह से होती है। एंड हार्ट डिजीज भी जो है वो लंबे दौरान से ही होती है। तो ये पोल्यूशन की वजह से जो ज्यादा एक्सपोजर हो रहा है पोल्यूशन का, उसकी वजह से इन बीमारियों के लिए टेंडेंसी काफी ज्यादा हो गई है, जो कि पहले नहीं थी। इसीलिए आजकल यंगर जनरेशन में ये बीमारियां ज्यादा देखी जाती हैं।
Do you find any difference in onset of heart ailments due to pollution in industrial areas like Kukatpalli, Patancheru compared to IT zones of high-tech city or Gachibowli?
More than, being in an industrial or a non-industrial zone, what really matters is that the incidence of particulate matter. Now, you might be living in an industrial zone that has a very low incidence of particulate matter, when you might be living in a so-called non-industrial zone where there is a very high incidence of particulates. Like for example, in the areas that you mentioned, like Gachibowli, etc., where there's a lot of construction going on, a lot of work going on, there is the air quality index, or the AQI as we call it, is at times much more severe than it is even in industrial zones. So as far as heart disease is concerned, there has been a definitive link established between particulates, especially those particulates that we call them as PM 2.5, that are less than 2.5 microns, because these particulates are able to deposit into the blood vessels and trigger off an inflammatory reaction, which can actually accelerate the development of significant coronary artery disease.
We now enter the final session on mindful eating.
मिस नाज़नीन, मेरा आपसे पहला सवाल है कि पोल्यूशन को कंट्रोल करने के लिए क्या डाइट सलाह है आपके पास?
जब हम पोल्यूशन को कंट्रोल करने के लिए डाइट के बारे में जब बात करते हैं, सबसे पहली चीज है कि हम शुगर कम करें, क्योंकि जब शुगर बॉडी में हम खाते हैं तो इसका इमीडिएट ब्रेकडाउन प्रोडक्ट होता है कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड, और ऐसे भी पोल्यूशन में इतना सारा कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड है। और जब हम डाइट में ज्यादा कार्बोहाइड्रेट फूड जैसे शक्कर है, गुड़ है, बहुत रिफाइंड चीजें हैं जैसे मैदा है, मैदे से बनी हुई सारी चीजें हैं, खाते हैं, तो इसका फाइनल ब्रेकडाउन जो होता है कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स का, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड और वाटर होता है, तो दिस क्रिएट्स अ लॉट ऑफ लोड। दूसरी चीजें जो है कॉम्प्लेक्स कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स, जो रेशेदार चीजें हैं, इसको इंक्लूड करना है, जैसे होल पल्सेस जैसे मिलेट्स है, जवार, बाजरी, रागी। जब गेहूं का आटा ले तो इसको चोकर के साथ ले। पल्सेस जो है हमारे, जो छिलके के साथ आते हैं, इन सब में बहुत भरपूर रेशा होता है। अगर ऐसे गुड कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स हम खाएंगे तो इसका जो है पोल्यूशन कंट्रोल करने में और कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड रिलीज में काफी हेल्प हो जाएगा। वेजिटेबल्स है, फ्रूट्स है, एटलीस्ट 400 ग्राम्स ऑफ वेजिटेबल, जिसमें एटलीस्ट हर रोज एक ग्रीन लीफी वेजिटेबल हमें जरूर से खानी चाहिए, ताकि जो है रेशा भी मिले और ओवरऑल जो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड जनरेशन है हमारे बॉडी में ये कम हो जाए। बहुत मीठे फ्रूट्स जो है इसको अवॉइड करने चाहिए।
With everything rising in life, we have vegetables that are beyond our reach. For example, at least this part of the world where I live, ladies finger is about 100 rupees, drumstick is 120 rupees, tomato is 90 rupees. Almost all the vegetables, like the petrol prices, are crossing 100. So people have started avoiding, vegetables. So in such a scenario, what do you suggest?
Sadly, the government has to look at better food security than just having grains in our godowns. So that whole agriculture concept and food security concept that we are looking at has to be looked at a more micro level, individual, state-wise thing. That Zone agriculture has to be promoted, and more, native and more agriculture, which is more, in that particular space, has to be promoted. That's one part of it. The second part is that sadly we outweigh the price of good food with the amount of money we'll have to spend if you fall sick, so the amount of money and time that we destroy or spend when we fall sick is far more than what you spend to buy healthier food. So I think this is a conscious choice that we keep making to keep eating healthy, just to not fall in that space where we need to run to a doctor or to get admitted in a hospital and spend our entire savings there, so वो थोड़ा सा एक rational हम सोच सकते हैं.